And they're thinking, well, you haven't brought anybody new on in 2 months. Why are you trying to help me? Whether they're thinking it consciously or subconsciously. So for 2021, I want you to be just insanely intentional, knowing deep down that the number one income producing activity is working this business, talking to new people. This is how deliberate I want you to be. I want you to spend 80% of your time there. How do you get better at inviting, following up, closing, presenting? It's by actually doing it. So I want you to spend 80% of your time talking to brand new people. And then you're going to find, right, you walk with the walkers, jog with the joggers, sprint with the sprinters. You're going to find where you actually spend your time and who you're spending your time with. But this is not net lottery ticket marketing. It's not net hoping, right? Not net wishing, not net looking around, not net dreaming. It's network marketing. So as you do this, yeah, you're going to have fun experiences. You're going to have funny experiences. You're going to have embarrassing experiences. You're going to have massive fears. The mother of all fears. I talk about this in the Game of Conquering. It's the fear of judgment. Think about it. You remove the fear of judgment, you don't have the fear of success. You don't have the fear of failure. You don't have the fear of rejection. You don't have the fear of missing out. You don't have the fear of inadequacy. But the fear of judgment, it's like we've already decided what could potentially happen. And so now we default to least amount of resistance, and we start making the plan for the plan of the plan. And it's like, Travis and Summer reach out, they're like, hey, how was this month? Oh, or even this week, I worked so hard. Well, what'd you do? Well, I watched 52 Facebook Lives this week. Oh, it was just amazing. And I read 12 books, and I listened to 5 podcasts, and on and on. Well, okay, how many new people did you talk to? Oh, well, I was at the grocery store, and I was just talking about DNA, talking about incredible products and, out loud, and just attraction marketing. This person was pretty close to me. She was getting some apples, so she's probably going to find me and just sign up. And we start rationalizing in our minds, right, of this fake work. And in reality, it's the end of the week. Okay, you work 20 hours. How many people did you talk to? Well, I talked to 2. You could have done 2 hours of work and gotten so much more done and been so much better. But going back to, we're used to being told what to do by our parents, our bosses, our teachers. And now we're a form of entrepreneurs, and everything just becomes later. So my word for this year, I don't care if it's cliche or not, it's focus. That's what it is. My goal is to say no more often, because I'm a recovering people pleaser. So I was, and I did pretty well this last year as far as saying no. This training I'm doing right now, this will be my second training I'm doing in the evening in the last 3 months. It's because I love these guys. I just don't do that many trainings anymore in the evening, because I'm hanging out with my family and I'm working crazy hard during the day. But my word for this year is focus. That's what my word is. I've established my top income producing activities. What are the top 3 things I'm going to focus on? How am I going to accomplish those? What am I going to do? And I'm focusing on the bigger picture, because we know new levels, new devils. And like I told you, you're going to have experiences that are embarrassing, or fun, or funny. For me, so earlier this year, I was emceeing an event that anybody read The Miracle Morning? I can see your faces, hands up. Miracle Morning, Halal. If you haven't read it, good book. So I'm emceeing, and he's there, and I introduced him, and then he's in the crowd. And as I'm emceeing this and I'm speaking, what happens when you MC an event is you want to bring the energy levels back up. So they're all coming back from a break, and I want to bring the energy levels back. This is crazy embarrassing, by the way. So I say this to this crowd, and I say, do you know why child geniuses don't have success? And this comes from Malcolm Gladwell studies. And they're looking at me, and they're all intrigued, right? And so I ask the question another time. And then the third time, I say it really fast. The problem is when you say, do you know why child geniuses don't have success? Instead, I said, do you want to know why child geniuses don't have sex? So I've got this entire crowd laughing their heads off at me. My face, of course, is just turning red. And of course, I'm going along with it. I'm like, well, now you guys are all really curious and intrigued. Now you want to know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Now you're paying attention. And I thought about that. Of course, I gave the teaching lesson and taught them that, here it is, in case you're curious. Simple answer is most child geniuses, they don't put themselves out there because of the fear of judgment, because they've been told how great they are. Whereas when you're someone that struggled in something, right, many times, because you're not perceived as a child genius, you're willing to fail much more. So maybe you have 98 ideas that are absolutely stupid, but because you put 100 out there, 2 are absolutely incredible. Whereas a child genius, maybe they could convert 1 out of 30, which is pretty high, or 1 out of 20, but they only put 3 or 4 out. So just to give you an example, I think about this now. When I first started, I didn't feel comfortable speaking on stage. Even after I'd made millions of dollars, I didn't start feeling comfortable speaking on stage until the last several years, 4 or 5 years. Now I've spoken in 20 plus countries just in the last 4 years alone. But I didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't my nature. And I tell you this again to empower you, because you hear all these cliches, if I can do it, you can do it. And everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. I've heard that a million times. You've heard so many different styles and different personalities in different ages. You've seen different walks of life come in and have success. The main thing that they all do, me traveling all over the world, speaking, I run masterminds with top leaders. I coach top leaders. I get to connect and be associated with many top leaders like Travis and Summer. And the thing, I'll sum it up. Top 2 reasons why people don't have success. You're going to be like, bro, that's so stupid simple. Are you kidding me? Hey, successful people just do the basics better. Think about that. I'm not a very good golfer, but I was watching, and the golfers, every single time they go out to putt, they're not putting from 30, 40 feet. They're putting from a couple feet. That's how they start. Successful people just do the basics better. So these are the 2 things. Number one, talk to a lot of new people. Stupid, huh? I mean, how are you supposed to make more money and grow your business if you aren't talking to brand new people? Number 2, they're doing some sort of third-party validation. Using your tools, using your Facebook groups, using your Zooms, using your 3-way chats. It's just a timeless principle. Those 2 things, if you focus the vast majority of your time on, you're going to have success. If your team members are putting you in front of brand new people, then you're in the highest income producing activity. If they're not, how long does it take to plug them in this incredible culture like this with this Zoom and your Facebook groups and text them, reach out? It doesn't take that long. But in our minds, we feel like we're working, so we feel better about ourselves. So I'm going to challenge you, because we've heard, does your why make you cry? I want you to think about this a little bit different. Is your why bigger than your mood swings? Because some of you, I'm not looking at anybody. Some of you are pretty moody. Not looking at anybody, okay? Some of you pretty moody, right? Is your why bigger than your mood swings? Here's another challenging thought. Is your why a lie? I know some of you are going to be like, that's offensive. What do you mean? Okay. You say it's not. Is your why matching, or let's look at reverse, are your actions matching your why? Think about that. You tell me that you want this and you give me your deepest, darkest why, right? I want this for family or kids or humanitarian or whatever it is. Life, time is the most valuable thing we have on this earth. It's the most precious thing we have on this earth. And you want more time to be able to live life on purpose. Are your actions matching your why? I know that hits home. Why not? There are 2 questions everyone asks themselves at every level. Joining your business, reaching the next rank, staying in the business. It's number 1. Can I do what you're doing? So it's just, can I do it? Can I do it? That's where it starts. Number 2, is it worth it? Because you may say, sure, I can do what some of my leaders are doing. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to deal with all the fears that go down to the mother of all fears, the fear of judgment? Is it worth it? I can tell you 100% it's worth it. When I started out, most people when they start out, what's their why? Their why is just they just want to make their money back, right? And then their why grows as they go. And for me, my big why was, I had several, but I'll give you a couple because one was just fulfilled, is my wife and I decided that my favorite quote of all time is die with memories, not with dreams. And we said, you know what? That's what it's all about. It's what it's all about, is the memories. So at 12 years old, because we have 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls, we're done. I mean, Travis and Summer took the whole duplication from network marketing. Like literally, I'm like 4 frontline is what I got from my comp plan. I'm just completely maxed out. These guys are like every couple of years, they open up like this new frontline spot. And they're like, yeah, our duplication is just incredible. So they're good. Like I'm like officially done. So I don't even know what I was saying. ADHD moment. I always have those. A dude has dreams, squirrel. So you go, okay. So talking about the dream. So at age 12, they go on a local trip with the opposite gender parent. I got to do it with my daughter when she turned 12 last year. My wife got to do it with my son 4 years ago. And then we have 2 younger ones, and they just can't stop talking about it, where they want to go. When they're 16, this is pretty cool. They can go anywhere they want in the world, anywhere. So my son was like, I can't decide where. And then a couple months ago, he said, Dad, I want to go to Dubai. I'm like, great. A couple weeks later, I book it. And that's where I was for 2 weeks this month. We showed up. I mean, we flew first class, which was cool experience for him. My wife was like, wait, what? You guys are going first class? I'm like, babe, die with memories, not with dreams. Like, it's all good. So I surprised him with that. And then when we got there, he's obsessed with, fast cars. So I got connected with several friends that had incredible cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, everything. So you got to see that. That was fun. We went and saw the tallest building. We went and swam with sharks, which was also on my bucket list. And there were like 300 sharks where we went. It was, it was a little bit like, wow, like, pretty surreal. I have a massive fear of heights, like so much so I haven't jumped from anything that's above 25 feet for 20 years. I went skydiving. I mean, it was just Dubai. I had to. So I did that. Had to do, the mental stuff that I teach. I kind of had to do that, right? It was like, I didn't even know where I was. Just don't think about it. All of a sudden you're walking to the edge of the plane. It's tough not to think about it. I'm like, whoa, we're really doing this. Luckily they push you out, so I didn't have to think about it. So we did that. We went skydiving. We went and did the desert tour, dune buggies, just so much stuff. Dinners, saw the seven-star resort that's there, beaches, pools. I went and had a professional drive him in a Ferrari on a race course. Just on it. I could go on and on and on. Who cares? The biggest thing is just the memories that were created. See, I had this vision. You want me to go even deeper? This is really personal. For me, I decided about a decade ago that I wanted to make enough money, because money, it's got to have a purpose with it. You can't just say I want to make a lot of money. What's the purpose with it? For me, I said, I want to make enough money that someday I can take all of my kids, their spouses, right? This is over 10 years ago when my oldest son was 5. And I want to take all their kids, so my grandkids, on a trip every single year that I pay for everything. Die with memories, not with dreams. So you see, yeah, I had days where my fears beat out my dreams. Of course it happened. There were days where I lost the battle. But overall, my dreams beat out my fears. And I want you to realize that, because don't be too hard on yourselves where you're thinking that I had a bad day, bad week, bad month. You're going to have those. How quickly can you bounce back and learn from those? That's normal. It's human nature. Everyone goes through it. The difference is the leaders snap out of it quicker. Another example, when COVID hit, everything shut down. Most of my business is online. Got back from running my own event in Australia. I'm like, this is just great. I got all these other speaking events. This year I was going to do less. I'm like going to charge way more. So this one company reaches out and they're like, hey, we want you not just to speak for an hour. We want you for 2 full days to just do an entire leadership training. We're going to bring our top 100 leaders in, very large company. So I'm going to tell you how much more just so you understand the gravity of it. So they tell me, and they said, okay, Rob, you know, we're going to pay you, you know, pretty well. It's all relative to me. I thought it was really well. And they were going to pay me $60,000 to speak for 2 days. COVID hits, they don't postpone it, they cancel it. Do you think that I was like, oh yeah, so blessed. I'm like, this is awesome. There's silver lining. This is so good. Are you kidding me? I'm a human being. Like, I'm pissed. This sucks. Right? And so that was the first day. Second day, I'm like, okay, well, at least, you know, business is good. Life's good. It could be worse. A lot of people were shops closed up. Don't act like a spoiled brat. Life's good. Third day, I'm like, screw this. I'm going to make this the best thing that happened. I published 4 books this year. My first book took me 8 years. And this year I published 4 books, a planner, a journal, released almost 100 podcast episodes, started a YouTube channel that's had 180,000 minutes watched. And that's since March of this year. Started a Pinterest, didn't even understand any of that stuff, right? As I go on and on. Committed to posting in the Game of Networking group at least 10 times a week. I just said, I'm just going to go all out crazy in value. So you see, it's not that you're not going to have setbacks. Leaders know change is inevitable. It's how are you going to bounce back? How are you going to focus? What are you going to learn from it? How are you going to parlay that into part of your story? Because we hear all the time, your struggle is your story. Your struggle is only your story if you overcome. Otherwise, that's a pretty crappy story, right? So take your struggle and say, you know what, this is great. I'm going to utilize this. Everything that happens to you, everything. You just say, you know what, I'm going to use that for good. I remember the late, great Kobe Bryant, one of his last great seasons, my favorite player of all time. And normal, just so you understand, is normal when you're doing well. For him, he's shooting about 35+% from 3-point lands. That's just normal. That's good. So for him, he was going through this slump where he had made, I think, 1 out of 24 shots. Like, that's not bad. That's as bad as it gets, especially for a legend that's, you know, top 5 greatest player of all time. And this reporter looks at him, says, Kobe, how are you feeling about your slump? How are you going to get out of your slump? Kobe looks over at him with these death eyes, like literally these death eyes, like he was going to kill this reporter. Like, what? He's like, I'm not in a slump. Ball just hasn't gone in lately. I thought, this guy's just crazy optimistic in his mind. He understood what we hear of marry the process, divorce the results. He understood this. He understood that so well that in his mind, he wasn't going to let a little bad streak define him. So I want to tell you, don't let your paycheck define you. You have to become it first in your mind before you become it. So my mind, and Travis and Summer would always talk about, don't fake it until you make it, right? Faith it until you make it. I still remember them talking about that probably 8 or 9 years ago, and it stuck out in my mind. And so for all of you, I want you to act as if. How would the $1 million version of you act? How would you talk? How would you speak? What would your tone be like? What would your body language be like? How would you invite? How would you follow up? How would you close? See, when you start to act as if, you'll become. It's not that it happens overnight. So this is something that I learned, a personal insight. Compensation always catches up to skill set and effort. Here's the key though, but it's almost always massively delayed. Think about that. Compensation always catches up to skill set and effort, but it's almost always massively delayed. It's not that you've arrived to the super galactic rank, right? And it's like, okay, I'm here. Where is it? It's almost always massively delayed, but you got to become it first. And when I realized this concept and I started to become it, when I hit that first huge rank, the highest rank in a multi-billion-dollar company, in my first company when I was building back in the day, it wasn't a shock. It was more of, it's about freaking time. Because in my mind, I had been there for 4 months. So it wasn't this whiny, oh, what am I doing wrong? I don't get it. It was more of a pissed off, determined of, what the crap? Why didn't I hit that rank? And then the next month, you see, you've got to raise that thermostat. You got to get to the point that you demand success from the world, from yourself. You don't just hope for it. You expect it, you demand it, you deserve it, you wreak havoc, you make it happen. That's what you want to do. And several of you, you know what you're capable of. So in your mind, you demand that and you know it's just going to happen. Others, it's you're hoping, and that's okay. You can borrow the confidence from your team members. Starts there, plant the seed, and then you're going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But I want you to be more intentional this year. I want you to be more focused this year. I want you to get so crazy that it's part of the reason why I created that planner that Travis and Summer showed is I want you to be so crazy you schedule everything out. Everything. Meaning if you got lunch, okay, how long is lunch? And if you need a break, great. How long is a break? Or you got dinner, how long is dinner? Or you're going to take a nap, great. How long is the nap? Or you're going to go work? Okay, great. What are you doing? This is work time. When are you in there on social media? When are you off social media so you're not on the scroll patrol, right? Which becomes a black hole. When are you going to transition from that and do the number one income producing activity? How long are you going to do that for? You got to schedule it. If it's that important, become the architect of your lives. Become the architect of your business. Architects design what they want. Firefighters react. Most network marketers are firefighters. Now, it's not to say that there won't be some firefighting. All the time I plan stuff out and all of a sudden it's like kids sick or this or that happens. That's normal. But that's just like building a house as an architect. It's not like they just draw everything up. It's perfect right away. They make little adjustments. But that's small amount of reaction, right? Of reacting rather than being proactive and scheduling it and planning it and focusing. My family knows exactly when I'm working. It's like, don't mess with dad. He's in all out laser focus mode. I feel like I get more done now in 2 hours than I used to get done in 10 hours because I am just nuts. Like I'll turn my phone over. It's like I'll log out everything I don't need. I write down my top 3 tasks. I got number 1 and it's almost like a race. I'm go, 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 go until I'm done. And then it's a couple minute break. And I know in those 30 minutes, just crazy. And then after that, it's the same thing. Go, 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 done. Because I know time is the most valuable thing we have on this earth. I know I owe it to myself. I owe it to my family. So my challenge for all of you is let's get more focused this year. Let's get more intentional. Let's dust off those dreams that you had once upon a time. Let's dream big. Most of the time we don't want to dream big because we don't want to be let down. Get your hopes up. Why not? Get your hopes up this year and make it happen. You got incredible leadership, incredible company. Why not? I know you can do it. I know you can make it happen. So I want to thank Travis and Summer for trusting me to be on. I know that whenever you're running a team, so you ran teams for a long time, who you put in front of your team it's like your family, right? You're very cautious. And so I don't take that lightly ever. I take that as a huge sign of just respect and trust. And I greatly appreciate that and make sure I never abuse that. And so that's my goal is always to come prepared. I got different sets of notes and here and scribble, scrabble on different things as I'm thinking through things, as I go and prepare for all of you. But grateful that all of you took the time to be on. I hope you find something of value that you can apply to your lives and to your business. So thank you, Travis and Summer. I appreciate it.
And let's give Rob Sperry a round of applause. Compensation always catches up to skill set and effort, but it's almost always delayed. Word of the year, Mr. Rob Sperry, is spam. No, I'm just kidding you. It's focused. Hey, let's give him a big round of applause, everybody.
Thanks, Rob.
Hey,
Thank
Rob.
you. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hey, by the way, Rob, real quick, Rob, other than game of networking, where else would you like? I put your link up for your planner. Is there anywhere else that you would like people to connect with you at?
Planner, books, great. Come find me on Facebook or the Game of Networking Facebook group.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Have a great New Year. We'll see you guys.
All right. Well, hope you got some good gems out of tonight's training with Rob Sperry. That was fantastic.
He's so awesome.
He is awesome.
Like, you have great stories. He's always super interesting, and I always feel like I gleaned so much. I took some notes here myself.
Yeah, I love it. Well, listen, let's keep the ball rolling here. I am excited to introduce you to someone here this evening that I've invited to just share a few words about what APLGo has meant to her in 2020 and a little bit about her vision in 2021. And I want to introduce you to Alicia Iameo. We met Alicia this year, earlier in about September, and I was so impressed with her. And one of the things that has stood out to me about Alicia, getting a little bit of feedback, so you can mute your line if you're not speaking, that would be great, is her consistency. She shows up every single day. She's fantastic when it comes to social media. She has 45 personals that she's brought onto the business since she got started somewhere late September, early October. She has 5 personal diamonds enrolled to her, and she's just done an amazing job. We're very grateful for her leadership, and so we asked her to come and just share a few words tonight. Alicia, talk to me a little bit about what APLGo has meant to you and your vision for 2021.
Oh goodness, thank you, Travis. So let's see, 2020 has been really crazy, right? I know earlier in the year, I kind of felt lost. I didn't know what direction I was going. And that feeling really brought me to my knees. And I started praying and asking for guidance and, you know, what direction am I supposed to go in my life? Where am I supposed to be? And then APLGo came along, and I really felt like this was my answer. This was my answer to prayer. And so, you know, here we are now at the end of 2020, and I can tell you that, like, I'm having so much fun. To me, this is such a breath of fresh air. You know, we've locked arms with, you know, so many people. We work together daily. It's fun. It's exciting. I really, truly believe in this product so much. I mean, I'm having some pretty incredible results with it myself. And I feel like if I believe in something, it's so easy to share it with other people. So I will be honest in saying when I first got started, I sat on the sidelines a little bit. And that's a regret that I did, that I have now, is that I did that. So I would say that if you're sitting on the sidelines and you haven't gone all in yet, like, now's the time. You know, the new year is what, 2 days away? It's time to plant the flag, because, you know, we're coming into busy season already. And then all the things that line up with this company, I know that we're going to have like a massive snowball effect. And, you know, they say how you end one month is how you start another one. How you end the year is how you begin another one. So, you know, let's just buckle down and work hard and show up. I think showing up is so important. I'm going to say too, this is kind of funny. So Travis told us, you know, dress up tonight or dress up creative. And I wore, I decided to go the creative side. So I wore an American flag looking shirt. So the reason why I wore this was because I feel like APLGo is the vehicle for us to have true financial freedom. We're in uncertain times right now. I saw a video the other day of a restaurant owner who was pleading and saying he's desperate for his employees and stuff. And we're the answer for that. You know, if we're not shouting this from the rooftops and telling people what we have, we're possibly not answering somebody else's prayer. Somebody else could be praying for this exact thing that we have. So it's our duty to go out and share with the masses what we have here at APLGo.
Beautifully said. Alicia, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Fantastic start to the year. Can't wait to see what you do in 2021.
Thank you, Travis.
So I want to give away another planner real quickly. So let's have a little more fun. Can we give away another planner?
Yes, let's do it.
So let's give away another one of Rob's planners. So here's what I'm thinking.
I want one.
So I'm thinking that the first person, and we got to change the writing again. So whoever says cookie gets the planner first. The first person to bring a holiday cookie to the table and show us a Christmas cookie, not eaten, can't have like nibbles in it that's left, any kind of Christmas cookie. Tim and Kelly, let me see, Tim and Kelly, let me see it. Let me see it. Tim and Kelly, where's your cookie at? I see Helen with a cookie. Where's Tim and Kelly at? Where you at, Tim and Kelly?
Oh, I see it.
Where are they?
Yeah, where
All gone. And then Joby's like, all gone.
Yvette had it up there.
Kelly, we got to see
I
your
have a cookie. I have a
Where
cookie.
is it? Let me see.
I got a cookie.
Let me ask you. You're muted, Tim and Kelly. Go ahead and unmute.
Cookie.
I don't know how to show my cookie.
Hold it up. Hold it up so we can see it.
Oh, gingerbread.
I'm not seeing your. Oh, you're so. All right. So I think Helen is going to win the cookie surprise here. I think Helen, you are the winner of the game of the planner for, what is it called? Game of Networking Planner that Rob Sperry put out. So congratulations to you. What's up, Denny Bowen? It's good to see you, my friend. Happy holidays. All right. So listen, let's keep the ball going here. I want to just chat with you a little bit. So first of all, I want to ask you guys a question. How is New Year's any different than any other day? I want you to think about that question. How is New Year's different than any other day? Because in all reality, there really is no difference between December 31st and January 1st. Because after the ball drops and the hype wears off, what really has changed? You might say, well, this year, I'm going to get back in shape, right? I'm just going to be honest with you. I failed miserably in 2020. Like I have the COVID, I went from COVID-15 to maybe COVID-20. So, right? So you might say, listen, this year, I'm going to get back in shape. Or you might say, I'm going to give up soda this year. Or, you know what? I'm going to make some more money this year. Or, you know what? I'm going to travel more this year. That's a goal of mine. Do you know, statistically speaking, do you know that approximately 45% of Americans, that's some 150 million Americans, will make New Year's resolutions this year? Okay? And by the way, I think, and some people, there's two parties. One camp says, you know, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions. I make them all year long. There's another camp that says, I like New Year's Eve and New Year's Day because it gives me time to reflect and it gives me a reason to set some new goals. I fall into that camp personally. Doesn't matter which camp that you fall on. But here's the thing. It's true that only 10% are actually successful at keeping their New Year's resolutions. And 1 in 3 people, they ditch their vows, get this, by the end of January. By the end of January. And the top reasons include being too busy or not being committed to their goals in the first place. And recent studies even show that 66% of resolvers set new fitness goals as part of their resolutions, and 73% of those gave up before meeting their goal. And here's the most interesting figure at all to me, is the number of times that those same people have given up on their same resolutions in the past. Same resolutions, the number is 4. So they've already given up on those same resolutions previously 4 times. And we know that the most common resolutions are losing weight, getting fit, quitting smoking, learning something new, eating healthier, right? The list goes on. So my question to you is, how will 2021 be different for you? What resolutions do you have on your list? Because didn't you want to make more money last year? Or was getting in shape or growing your business exponentially on the list last year? And you might say, well, listen, I'm different. You know, I've made a decision, but this year is going to be different. And now we're talking, right? Because you've decided. And the only true power we hold is the power of decision. I want you to keep that in mind. That's the only true power that we hold. Now, I want to introduce you to a powerhouse couple here at APLGo. And this couple, and in particular, this lady that I have grown to just absolutely adore, we have grown to adore this year, has done an amazing job. She sponsored 48 people total on her team. She sponsored 9 diamonds personally on her team, 47 diamonds total now on her team collectively. And her team has duplicated to over 475 people since starting in September and October. And I talked about the power of decision because Sarah Shabbat, when I reached out to her and her husband, Kevin, they were a little bit reluctant at first, especially Sarah, about this opportunity until I sent her the drops. I said, look, guys, before we even move forward, you should have heard it. I tell the story all the time on our three-way calls. I got on the phone with Kevin and Sarah, and Kevin was like, negative ions, this is my jam. And Sarah was so like skeptical about this. And she was like in the back of the phone call, I could just see her telling Kevin, no, like she was just not into it at all. And I just said, guys, will you do me a favor? I just want to send you some drops to try. That's all I want to do. And it was so funny because within maybe a week, Sarah's on the phone just, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe these things. And she was so excited and she said, listen, this is going to be my thing. And she's crushed it. And so talk about the power of decision. Just an unbelievable job. Sarah Shabbat, would you talk to us a little bit about what APLGo has meant for you and your vision for 2021?
Absolutely. And thank you for that introduction. I just adore you and Summer, and so does Kevin. I'm speaking on behalf of us tonight. So I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. I'm so excited to be a part of APLGo. I've never felt so passionate about something. Travis was right. I was totally skeptical. When he told me it was a lozenge, I started laughing. I thought they lost their minds. They've approached us about a cough drop. What is going on? And I changed my tune. I got my hands on the sample. The first drop I took was an STP, and all of the pain in my body was gone within 10 minutes. And they had no idea that 2020 had been a hell of a year. That summer I had to have surgery. Was in the absolute worst health I had been in 10 plus years. And I've done a lot to reverse my health. So I was at the point in my life where I was like, what is going on? I was trying to reevaluate what was going on. I wasn't sure if I wanted to honestly stay in network marketing. It was becoming more stressful than it was rewarding to me in our current company, even though we were top leaders there. We were full-time for 6 years. And it was really a battle for myself. So I had been praying on it. I wasn't sure what route we were going to go, if we were going to stay with our company, if I was even going to get involved with another opportunity. And then boom, I'm having reproductive issues and I get a box of power. And literally within 2 weeks of taking this product, I can't even be considered to have these health issues anymore. I'm getting louder and louder about it. I just can't even express, like, our paychecks. I cannot believe what's coming in weekly. And I just know that with 2021 coming, with more and more people hearing about us, with us being the top immune product out there, being the top 5 network marketing company on Business for Home, like, what we have here is a gold mine. And the people that have joined us, it's not like we're out there and we're just bringing in quantity. The whole team, everybody sitting here is so special, and we have such a good quality group of people. And I've never felt so full. Like, my glass is so full every time I leave a training, and every single time I leave any type of overview, I'm more and more excited. And like Kevin and I, we just can't shut up to each other. We cannot believe that we have something that is so powerful as a product and a business, and it's at a price point that anybody can afford. Like, I was telling Travis the other day that my neighbor said to me, how much is a drop of the RLX? And I said $25. And I spend more than that on a trip to Starbucks. What are you talking about? And it feels so good to know that we truly have control of our lives. I was starting to give up on my dreams, and I feel like my dreams are bigger than they've ever been. I know that we're going to be able to achieve every single thing that we've wanted to. And the best feeling is that I'm seeing more and more people on my team win. I have more people bringing in an income here than they have ever experienced in their entire life. And even if it's a couple $100, that's more than they've done their first month, and it's growing. And I just know that if I can do it, and I know that, like, we just heard Rob say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But that's the truth. We have something a system that's in place. It works. Look at our testimonies. It blows our mind. Like, I can't get over the goosebumps that I hear every time I hear a testimony, not just on the health, but on the financial aspect of things. And what we have here is it's a gem. It's our legacy. It's a company we can retire into, and we can feel really, really good getting loud about it, because we're changing lives. Like, sometimes you have a product that you believe in, but it's just the business is more powerful. And what we have here for the first time in my life, and ever seeing anything ever, is in this industry, is you have a comp plan that's just as amazing as the product. And you can move mountains with this, you guys. People are changing their entire mindset. They're growing as individuals. And I just am so excited to enter this new year as a distributor for APLGo. I am proud to say that my company is APLGo. I'm proud of my team. I am proud of all of the people that are in this company right now, because you guys, we deserve it. And everybody deserves to know what we have, because they deserve it too. So I'm going to keep it short. I can just ramble on. I'm so excited to be here. I wish you all the best 2020, and I can't wait to meet everybody in March.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We really appreciate you, Kevin, everything that you guys are doing. You know, Tony Robbins tells us that a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. That's how you know that you've truly made a decision. And if there's no action, then you truly have not decided. You know, the reality is that there really is no significant difference between New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, yesterday, or today. What makes it different is you and I deciding to make the new year a catalyst for change, to use it as a starting point to create new patterns and to rid ourselves of bad habits that keep us from our best. You know, I want to introduce you to another couple that absolutely, talking about action, has just been a catalyst here at APLGo. They made a decision, and for Summer and I, what's been the most enjoyable is watching this couple step into a leadership role to lead their team. And it's such a fun thing to witness. And, you know, talking about just shining bright right now. I mean, the sun is shining on them. They've stepped out. I don't want to say stepped out of the shadows, because they were never in the shadows, but they're shining at a whole different level because of that big decision that they made and their impact. They've now sponsored 48 people, 6 personal diamonds, over 350, I think it's like 356 people on their team. And they really have decided to do some big things in 2021. So help me give it up for Dr. Aaron and Garth Oaksel, or as Sergi says, Dr. Garth and Aaron Oaksel. I don't know, Garth, did you get the new doctorate? That was.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks a lot.
It's an honorary degree.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, Summer and Travis, we love you. We love everyone on this call. And I always joke, like, if you were new to our team meetings, you might get freaked out, because at the end we're like, I love you, I love you, I love you. I mean, people are probably like, these people are weird. But Garth's gonna go first.
Yeah. So as you know, Travis, you know, I'm the leadoff hitter, but Aaron's the cleanup batter. So I'm gonna go first. And I remember, you know, vividly the conversation that the 4 of us had through Zoom when you guys introduced this to us. And it was, I think, about a 2-hour phone call because of the level of excitement. I think we might have even popped a bubbly during that call. Yeah. And that's what got us excited, was to see your excitement about this. And we fed off of that, and we followed the lead that you guys had. And what's been so exciting for us is watching that trickle down to people in our team. I, every day, am just amazed to see the people on the team step into their greatness because of what this compensation plan offers them, because of what this product is providing them as it comes to relief with health issues they've had. It is just absolutely heart exploding, not even heartwarming, to see the testimonies that people are giving with these products, to see the reaction they get when they log into their back office and they're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, that's how much money I've made? I haven't made that in anything I've done before. So 2020, yes, we've had the pandemic, but I actually think the pandemic has been a blessing, because there are a lot of people on our team that said, you know what, this can happen and I need to do something and be prepared for it. We have a number of people on our team that lost their jobs, and this has been a parachute for them. This has been
one of the woman's husbands said, you should have gotten him unemployed a long time sooner. He goes, you made what this month? You should have been unemployed way long time ago.
Yeah. So speaking of, kind of going off what Rob Sperry talked about, is momentum of finishing 2020 and how that launches in the next year. I don't even know what to expect for 2021, because my logic thinking brain is having a tough time grasping what is possible for everyone on this call. I just know that what we've experienced so far has been incredibly fun, incredibly exciting, and incredibly miraculous in some people's cases that it's just going to be unbelievable for us to come back a year from now and reflect on what 2021 did for us. So honey, why don't you swing it and bring it home for us here?
You know, it's been quite a day. The greatest compliment I could receive was from Alicia Iliamo, which is not how you say her name, but that's how I say it. And she reached out a couple weeks ago and she said, you really shine the light of one team, one mission. And I've always been that way. And it never grew my team in other companies. But I know now that God was protecting me from something and he was setting me up for this team. Your all stories sound really great, but let's all go back to like COVID and prior to COVID. Was anyone doing like daily walks where you were crying your eyes out? I mean, I remember telling Travis, we were in a past company, and I said, our goal, how do we make 10,000 a month? And I've got people on our team that want to make 1,000 a month, and I have got to show them how. And we sat down, and there was no way to get us there. And it broke Travis and Summer's heart. They said, we don't know how to get you there. Like, we were the top income earners, you guys. We made $10,000 in our first month at APLGo. And I'm saying that not to impress you, but to impress upon you what is possible here. When someone just texted me, APLGo just paid for my Christmas. Like, you know, Joe B has said, I've never seen you confident like this before. And I've never been confident like this before, because every piece of the puzzle is here. I used to say the words that I was told to say, you know, what's your goal? I can help get you there. I can help coach and get you there. But I don't think I ever believed it because I really couldn't. And now when you have a company and a comp plan that you say, what's your goal? And I can get you there. Watch out, world. So I love you all. What we have is real and it's amazing. Our team just put 596 people into a flash sale in 24 hours. And I say that to tell everyone else on this. Do you understand? Like, if you can get 596 strangers to come and look at your product, that's insanity. So we are going to receive this waterfall of abundance. And you guys just decide, and we'll see you in Vegas. Okay? It'll be ridiculous. So thank you.
Love it. Appreciate you guys so much. Appreciate your leadership, your example every single day.
Thank you.
So we've got one more superstar we're going to be hearing from tonight. Then we're going to bring it home, and we're going to do a special toast here. I know we're going a little bit longer. Stick with us. Then we got a special prize or something we're going to be giving to each and every one of you. So the next person that I want to introduce you to is just come in here and exploded. I mean, absolutely exploded her business. She sponsored 54 people on her team. 15 of those have been diamonds. 15 of those have been diamonds. Now, I'll let her share, but my guess is she's probably earned more here at APLGo than she has with other opportunities. And she's just doing an amazing job with her leadership, her example, which leadership is example, nothing more and nothing less. And I'm so excited to hear from Tina Casper D'Angelo. Tina, would you share some words of wisdom with us and tell us a little bit about what APLGo has meant to you?
Wow, I feel so much pressure being last. And I am the introvert here, believe it or not, which just goes to show you that anyone can do this. I actually kind of pride myself that honestly, anybody can do amazing things. But you have to have the right timing, the right company, the right product. I actually just started network marketing 4 years ago, like literally newbie, like cry my eyes. Why are people being mean? I am a big people pleaser. And even my husband would say, why do you care what they think? And I'm like, because I like my friends. I want to make people happy, which is why this company and this product is amazing, because I actually am spinning my wheels. I'm not spinning my wheels. I could say I'm actually doing half the effort that I was as a top leader in another company, because I'm not selling a product. I'm helping people find real solutions. And I honestly believe that. Like, I feel like I am sharing something that whether I got paid or not, I would share it. I would tell my friends, my family. It's amazing. The science blows my mind. 20 years in healthcare, I've never seen something this phenomenal. I do have a funny story. I shouldn't say funny, but I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason and people come into your life for a reason. At the beginning of the year, I was struggling in another company. I could not feel a good connection with my team. And I reached out to Dr. Erin, just out of the whim. And I just started a conversation with her. I was a nobody to her. She could have probably cared less. We got on a phone call. She scheduled a call with me a couple days later. And we just had a really good heart-to-heart connection. And she took me under her wing, literally made not a penny from me. And I was moving up the ranks in that company. And she cheered me on. There was no jealousy. It was just pure love and joy. And so from that relationship, I'm a big relationship person. I talk to people. I do the daily work, but I am very disorganized. I'm a crazy mom of 4. I have a job, another job outside of this, which I'd love to retire myself from. But Dr. Erin and Garth, they just took me under their wing, and look what happened from that meetup. When this company and this opportunity presented itself, and they reached out to me, or I reached out to them, however that worked. Now look at it. Now look at the pieces of the puzzle, the connections coming. That was my 2020. I mean, they gave me a gift. They gave me a gift that I want to give every single person. I made more in 3 months than I ever did as my highest pay as a top leader in another company at 3 years. I've actually probably made more than my good paying 20-year professional healthcare job. That's crazy, crazy. I hit a glass ceiling. I will never make more money. This opportunity, that's what 2021 is happening for all of us. It's endless possibilities. I tell people that. How many people would love an endless possibility? You make it how you want. It's there. You get to decide. And I'm just really blessed. I really do feel I'm blessed. Sometimes I don't know why, but I am a good person. And I really try to do what's right. And I feel like this company, Dr. Erin and Garth, they were a blessing to me this year. And I just love everything that is happening. It's unique. It's a very unique, it's refreshing. Wow. People just have no idea what's out there. And this, like, I should be shouting it from the rooftops, and I probably will. I just got to get over myself a little bit more. So watch out 2021, because we are all going to blow this out of the water.
Thank you so much, Tina. We appreciate you. And did you hear that? Somebody who has 15 diamonds personally sponsored, you know, probably more personal sponsors than anybody else on the team, is saying that she needs to get over herself a little bit and her insecurities. I just hope that each and every one of you can relate to that, because in some way we all have our own insecurities, and you're someone that is still excelling at what she's doing and doing an amazing job. So we're grateful for that. Summer and I have spent a large majority of our adult life helping others reach their goals or achieve their goals or go after their goals. In our experience, we have discovered that having a goal is not enough. Having a goal is not enough. You must have a plan in place to achieve that goal. You've got to have a plan of action. And so I want to just give you some tips, some real practical tips that'll help you to stay on target for 2021. First of all, number one, people who put their goals on paper are significantly more likely to achieve them. I know that this sounds very simple, very basic, you know, but it's so true. It is so true. Those
kind of goes back to what Rob was saying, as those who do the basics better are the ones who win in the long run, right? It's basic. It's something we all grew up. I grew up listening to Dr. Malt. I don't know if he's still out there or not, but one of his big things was you have to write it down and you have to place it where you're going to see it often. And whether it's getting ready in the morning and you have to just see it multiple times throughout the day and you have to say it out loud, but writing it, there's something about writing it that connects your brain and your vision and seeing it written down, that eye-hand coordination. It's real. It really is. And then visually seeing it every single day, multiple times.
Amen. The second one is you have to post that same goal in places where you'll see them often. Mm-hmm. Your will matters most the moment that you make a resolution. And you want to be able to recapture that intensity of that moment again and again and again. So putting it in a place where you'll see it on a regular basis is so critical. Another thing that is very important, and I can't stress this enough, this is probably one of the most important things that I'll share with you tonight. Jim Rohn used to teach that for things to change, you need to change. And for things to get better, you need to get better. Rather than setting a goal to make more money, make a resolution to become a person worthy of making more money. Commit to reading one book a month this year, or attending seminars that teach on this matter. If your goal is to get in shape, then your New Year's resolution shouldn't be, I just want to lose weight, but rather I want to learn more about the body and what foods are best to eat for the results that I desire, right? In other words, knowledge is key. It's be, do, have, not have, do, be, right? It's be the person that you want to be, right? Rod talked all about this. Number 4 is important, and you heard it from Tina tonight. Finding a mentor is at the top of our 2021 list. Because when it comes to staying on target for this year's resolutions, you have to find somebody credible who already has what you desire to help you stay on track. Aligning with the right person or persons can help you to avoid the pitfalls and the trial and errors that most people encounter. And a good coach can also provide that accountability and that encouragement during those discouraging times, because we all have them, right? Mama said there'd be good days and bad days. There's definitely some bad days in this business. It's something, I mean, to us, and a lot of our mentors haven't always been sponsors. They're people that we've taught out and we've connected with. The last one I'm going to let you say, number 5, I think is important in our world. It may be important in yours, but it's something we feel compelled to share.
So praying daily for guidance and wisdom, inspiration, and for strength to overcome obstacles that you're going through, I feel like has been very powerful for Travis and I. And I don't know if any of you have been in this position, but sometimes when you're going through something really hard, your mind is super occupied. Sometimes if you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been praying as often? Because like your mind gets so occupied. Sometimes it's like the very best thing that you need to do, you don't do. It's like when people are depressed, what's the best thing for them to do is to get showered and get dressed. Even if they just get dressed for the day and go outside, but when you don't feel like doing that. And I feel like sometimes in those times of obstacles, sometimes your mind's so preoccupied and stressed, maybe you don't think, or you are usually doing it and you don't. I feel like it's so powerful. And I feel like the times that we run quicker to prayer, the faster we run to prayer, the more often that we pray during those times, I feel like it doesn't necessarily make the problems go away or the stress go away, but it helps us overcome them quicker and find solutions and have peace and guidance. And even if it's just to get through that day that seems like really stressful, it just makes such a difference. And I always say that there's no place off limits that you can pray, whether it's in your car, anywhere, even if you're in the grocery store, anywhere, if you just feel like you need to say a prayer in your head, God is listening. And I'm just know that, just to remember that he always wants the best for you and your situation. He hears you. And I hope that's okay that I'm speaking this way to everyone here, but it's just been such a huge part of what's got us through challenging times, challenging days. And even then, don't forget to pray and give thanks when you've overcome that. I feel like that's huge for us too, praying for gratitude. So those are things that have helped us.
Wherever your God is, if you want to meditate, whatever it is,
Yes.
prayer, we believe in that. I want to share I want my challenge to everyone today is really as we kind of close up this call. My challenge for all of you for 2021 is to rise to the occasion. To rise to the occasion. I want you each to write that down, and I want you to put it somewhere that you look at it all year long. When you do something, it counts forever. Do you guys realize that? When you do something, it counts forever. Did you know that there was a guy who made one move 140 years ago that has our nation operating as it does today? His name was Joshua Chamberlain. How many of you have heard his name before? I'm guessing that very few people have heard the name Joshua Chamberlain before. He was a school teacher, but at one point, he was also a colonel in the military. And he wasn't a colonel because he knew anything about the military or warfare or battle strategy. He was named colonel because he was the first one to volunteer for the Union. And next, two guys were majors. And that's pretty much how it went. And they placed this guy up on a hill on July 2nd of 1863. And they said, you can't leave here. You can't leave here. The enemy will try and come through you to gain the high ground. Whatever you do, do not leave this location. The enemy will try and breach right through you. And if they come through you, they will gain high ground on us, and they will come down and they will wipe us out. You are the extreme left edge of this line of 80,000 men that runs from you to this town called Gettysburg. So Chamberlain and his men of the 20th Maine spent the entire morning and early afternoon laying below this high rock wall. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, the 15th and the 47th Alabama came up that hill, and Chamberlain pushed him back. And then they charged again, and he pushed him back down the hall again. And on the fourth charge, he took a bullet dead center in his belt buckle. It knocked him down. He realized that he wasn't hurt, and he got up and he kept fighting and pushed him back down the hill again. And on the fifth charge, fighting was on both sides of the wall, and they made it through the wall. They were fighting. Gunpowder was literally flying everywhere, and they were able to manage to push them back down the hill again. Unfortunately, at this point, they were completely out of ammunition. They had started with 1,000 men, and literally they were down to 300 that morning. And now of that, only 80 men were left. Fathers, sons, husbands, and friends literally lay there along the wall, now dead. And Joshua's brother Tom came along and said, "We're leaving, right?" And Chamberlain said, "No, Tom, we aren't going anywhere." He says, "Well, what do you mean? I mean, we're literally sitting ducks. We have no ammunition." And a great quote that came from that fight, there was a third brother there. His name was James, and he was a medic. And James said to Thomas, "Go find your brother and tell him to keep his head down. With 3 of us here, it could be a bad day for Mother." So listen to this. The battle sergeant came up. "Sir, shall I sound the retreat?" And he says, "Sergeant, we will not be retreating." Chamberlain said, "Gather the bullets from the dead." He said, "Sir, we did that the last time." About the same time, a 12-year-old boy who was on the lookout who was on a tree and a lookout. He says, "They're reforming. They're being reinforced." Sure enough, a new Texas regiment joined forces with them. About that time, the boy shouts, "Here they come." And sure enough, they came with that rebel yell. And it sounded literally like crazy people running at them. And Thomas said, "What we do." Thomas said, "What we are to do." Chamberlain turned to the battle sergeant and he gave the order, "Fix the bayonets." And one after another, you heard the click of the bayonets. And he gave the order to do a great right wheel. And the flag bearer says, "What is a great right wheel?" And he says, "It's a charge." And before anybody could stop, he yelled charge. And literally, Chamberlain took off running and leading into history. Most in our country haven't even heard this story. A union of 400 plus men stopped in their tracks when they saw these crazy people running at them with bayonets. They thought these people must have reinforcements. Many dropped their weapons and they literally ran and they gave up their weapons. Now here's the moral of the story. Had Joshua Chamberlain not rise to the occasion, our country would not be free or a free country as we know it today. And before you go thinking small or that you can't make a difference on this team, at APLGo or even in life, consider for a moment that years later at a rally, when Joshua was elected as a mayor, Joshua Chamberlain, a man from the rebel army came up to Joshua and said that day on the fields, I had you in my sights. I had you in my crosshairs. I knew you were in charge because the way you were dressed, and as I started to pull the trigger, I couldn't do it. I reassessed, took aim again, and something told me not to pull that trigger. You never know the impact that the decision that you will make today or about your future, the impact it will have on your family, on your friends, and those who are watching you at this moment. So that is my challenge to all of you guys as we go into 2021 is rise to the occasion. I want to close. And by the way, we wanted to give so each and every one of you, and I know that there's a few of you guys that have already earned this, but we're going to send everybody on this call tonight a gift. We want to send you Big Al Schrader's How to Build Your Network Marketing Business. So if you will please inbox us your address. Actually, the easiest thing to do would be to send it to legacyleadership@yahoo.com. Tony, if you wouldn't mind writing that into the comment section, legacyleadership@yahoo.com. We will send you a free book just to say thank you for being with us on this crazy journey. And I want to toast. I want to toast to our future. So this is a great opportunity for all of us to grab your drinks, your cups, your glasses, whatever you want to have in them.
This is my energy drink.
We have energy drinks tonight because haven't been feeling the best.
Don't judge.
So here we go. And then, by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to ask on the count of 3. At the end of this toast, I want to ask everybody to unmute. I'm going to count to 3, and I want you all to say best year yet, and then we'll cheers, okay? So first of all, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Let us all acknowledge the good that is already in our lives is the foundation for all abundance. This year, our wish for us and for you is that we will all have the strength to see that the glass is half full this year and that it is not half empty. Let us cheers to a wonderful year and an amazing one ahead of us. We wish you all a happy new year filled with joy, with good health, with abundance. So as I close this toast and we bring in a new year, on the count of 3, if you will join us, I'd like you to join me in all saying best year yet. So everybody get unmuted. Count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Best year yet. You guys. Cheers. Cheers to you guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Love you
Year.
guys. Happy New Year.
Happy Travis. Happy New Year.
You're awesome.
Happy New Year.
Bye, guys. See you in the new year.
Love this team.
Yeah. By the way, if you want something tonight, send us an email. Appreciate you guys.
Love you bunches.
Love you bunches back.
Love y'all.
Love ya.
Love you.